everybody, to another installment of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Draco Springs, RK Motorsports Consulting, which is now with SRI Performance. So, the list goes on and on and on and on. I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up, y'all?
And we got our buddy back, finally, Derek Griffith. What's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Off season's got me a little slow, but excited to be back on the show. That's for sure.
I'm telling you, man, it's been too long.
You guys been busy. That's all.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
We've been busy. You've been busy. Everybody been busy. Well, speaking of being busy, how's your week going? Well, first of all, how was your Christmas? How'd everything go?
Good. Got to hang out with some family and spent it up in Maine, most of it. So got to hang out and not really do too much for once. It was pretty good. I was actually sick. Got tested, so that was good. I came back negative, so I could have enjoying a couple days up in Maine there. But I just hung out. That was it. Just hung out.
Oh, cool. We're glad you are Rona free.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
So did you have a white Christmas up there?
It actually rained a ton, so all the snow washed away.
Jesus.
Well, that ain't no good.
Well, we felt like we could have had snow down here. It was cold. I don't know what for us, but I figured you'd got snowed in up there somewhere for sure. But that's good. Well, rain isn't good for sure on Christmas, but if you're just hanging around chilling, I guess it doesn't matter. It's cool.
It is what it is.
Oh, can't complain.
I hear you. Well, Sterling, how about you? How was your how was the Christmas?
It was good. It was really good. Santa was tired, very tired from all his deliveries or whatever, I guess you say.
He should have ate more cookies.
He was tired till about 2 a.m. in the morning. I guess I was helping him a little bit out there, but it was good. Kids got up loving it. It was cold, kind of too cold, like I say. The wind was blowing like 40 miles an hour, and I think the wind chill was 30 out there. So we didn't get to go outside and play too much outside.
Derek said that's T-shirt weather.
Yeah, I couldn't
sweatshirts up here. It's like 25.
Oh,
just
God.
Sweatshirts.
Yeah, it was miserable for us. That wind, I couldn't stand it, man. The wind was just unbearable for us. But so yeah, we got out there, and my little boy got a basketball goal, and my little girl got like a little razor side by side thing, and they get out there for 5 minutes and
Power Wheels.
Well, yeah. They get out there 5 minutes and they said, "Daddy, it's cold." I said, "Okay, I'm good. Let's go inside." Let's go inside. So it was good. How about yours?
Well, it was good. We did the same old unwrapping presents and all that fun stuff, and spent time with both the families, my family and the wife's family. And I tell you what I did. We always try to cook some steaks or something like that Christmas Day. Well, the wind was literally blowing like 40 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm still going to go out here and try to cook them. I cooked them. I thought I was going to freeze. I thought I was an ice cube by the time I got done, but I cooked them. So it was all good. They turned out well, and ate some good steak, and actually had some ribs too, and shrimp. All that.
That don't sound like a Christmas dinner, kind of.
What's Christmas dinner?
I don't know.
I'd be down for that Christmas dinner.
What was that?
I said I'd be down for that Christmas dinner. That sounds good.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it sounds good. Just I don't know. I guess I think a hog or something, or pig.
Well, yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. Ham, yeah.
I know a lot of people do like another turkey and stuff like that on Christmas. I'm like, we just had that on Thanksgiving. I don't need another.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I guess I'm just not a big turkey fan. I don't know. Oh, how about work, everybody? How about you, Derek? I see you got some cool cars coming in to sell.
Oh yeah, yep. It's been pretty crazy busy. It's crazy to think we sold over 100 cars this year.
Wow.
So we got 15 of them right now that will be here in just a little bit of time too. Hopefully by the end of this week. So we're just as busy as we always been.
That's awesome. That is awesome. See, and that is a difference in the South and the North. it gets that cold down here. We just quit operating. Nobody does anything. They don't buy cars. They don't do anything.
All the milk sold out. Yeah, bread sold out.
The bread. Everybody's eating milk.
World's ending.
Everybody's eating milk sandwiches apparently because all the bread and milk is gone.
Yeah.
Y'all up there, it's like, same old, same old.
They got to, because it's like 8 months out of the year this way, so they have to do it.
Everyone just got like heated jackets up here now and all that stuff, so we're prepped.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I'm glad somebody... See, and I think that's our excuse down here. Our excuse is we're not ready for it with the preparations y'all do. So it's like, we're not ready for it. Shut everything down.
That's easy.
We just want to stay home too bad.
I don't blame it.
Oh, cool stuff. How about you, Sterling? I know you wide open after Christmas here.
Yeah, the old machine shop there. We got a lot going on. Been on the road working a good bit. 2 weeks before Christmas, so they would finish that up. Get back for Christmas break there, a little short time, and working a lot of shutdowns this week. Thought I was gonna have to work tonight actually, but worked out we didn't have to. So we'll be going on the road tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Lord knows, might be a 24 or 28-hour day for me tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. But try to hurry up and get done before Thursday, I hope.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Get done for the weekend.
Well, how's your work going?
It's not.
Exactly. You know, I haven't worked.
It's not.
For 6 months.
It's not. If everybody else out there don't know already, I've got to have shoulder surgery tomorrow. So, well, as y'all are hearing this podcast, I will probably... on Tuesday, I'll probably be in surgery, having shoulder surgery, and so I don't know how long I'm going to be out of work. We'll see. I feel like I can still fulfill my duties as a podcast host, though.
Pretty sure you got it. Pretty sure you can handle it. Well, you'll get used to using your other arm more.
Maybe so. That's the left arm is definitely gonna get its use. For sure.
Yeah, you might build some muscles over there. Finally, you might.
I'm not used to doing things with my left hand.
No, pretty much not.
Oh well, it is what it is. Well, cool. Well, since we got Derek on here, and this is our final show of 2020.
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing. I don't know. Well, at least we made it. We made it this far.
I will say this, and we wanted to end the year out with Derek coming on with us because he took a chance with us pretty much at the beginning of this year and was more than happy to come on and help us out and help us grow. So what better person to come on with us for sure for this last episode of the year and kind of feel everybody can kind of find out how his year went and how it ended up. So, but again, Derek, we do appreciate you coming on with us and helping us out all you have, man.
Oh, no, it was my pleasure, even from the beginning. And you guys helped me out a little bit with my iRacing deal while everything was shut down, and it was pretty cool. It's something I haven't really done. If you hear the squeaking too, my dog's going crazy over here. But
probably got a new toy.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just cool to be a part of. I mean, I've never really been much of a podcast guy. Even to be a part of one. And I'm the first one to turn on a podcast when I'm driving somewhere, especially like to drive up to Maine there, pop on a little Chicken Bone Alley and listen away. So it's cool to be a part of this deal.
We greatly appreciate it, as Sterling just said. We really do, and appreciate you spending the year with us. But going back in the year, man, we just want to go back through your year of racing a good bit. And with all the craziness of 2020, I really feel like you, as far as racing goes, I feel like you had a pretty good year.
Oh yeah, it's hard not to be pretty happy with our year. I'm gonna have to take all of our squeaker doors away. Oh, man. So it's hard not to be pretty happy with the year. I mean, to come out New Smyrna and do as well as we did down there at Speed Weeks, come back and have a little bit of bad luck here at home in our super program, and then come back and to White Mountain a couple weeks later and just have just probably one of the best days at the racetrack you possibly could ever want. I mean, starting 29th in through a provisional and going to win at a tight quarter mile bull ring like that is just it's something that I didn't think I could even do, starting the day off. And, and then the season kind of followed out through with our super late model program, having some good runs minus the 250. And we won some pretty big money races there in between, one at Claremont, one at Lee, and, another Granite State race at Lee. And, it's hard not to be happy with that whole program. And then the whole ARCA deal, it was a pretty testing season for sure for me with that, to show up at a racetrack like Pocono, and then they're just like, all right, you get, 3 minutes on the racetrack, and then, you're starting 15th. So go have fun. It's like, man, it's a little bit like, a little frustrating, not frustrating, but overwhelming. And to kind of close out the year with a good run at Kansas there was good for me. I think I needed that.
Definitely so. And it was awesome seeing, when we got word that you, we had already talked to you a few times, and we got word all of a sudden that you were going from the, just the ARCA East stuff, and all of a sudden going to run the, national stuff. And it's like, all right, this is about to be interesting.
He's throwing him in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. But
it was like,
yeah, like I say, that's awesome what you were able to do. I mean, coming on, getting to these tracks you haven't seen, like you said, Pocono, the mile and a half, Bristol even. I mean, just and the way this year fell for you, no practice time, like you say, no qualifying, just here's the car, here's the track, go. And for you to figure it out like you have, and for not just you, but for the team in general, just y'all working together and figuring it out throughout the race and putting top tens together the whole year. From what I remember, I can't think of a race you didn't finish inside top 10, but you can't ask for better.
And then bringing it home in top fives every week.
Right. So that is definitely awesome. Cannot ask for better, to be able to go to these places like you have first time and do that. So I know a lot of people noticed that for sure, not only us.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's hard not to be pretty happy with the season. Of course, I didn't get that. Like, we went out there and won this race or that race. I mean, I think we probably could have. I think we had the car to win probably 3 races, and at Pensacola was one of them. Lucas Oil was another, and then New Smyrna. I think we could have won all those races. Just unfortunately, this is a sport that having the best car usually doesn't mean that you're going to win. So, luck plays such a big part in this whole deal, and experience does too. So, I don't have a lot of experience in those cars at that level. So that I think that definitely came into play. So I'm hoping that people kind of look back at this year and realize how much of a crazy year it was. And I kept the car in one piece all year, other than Pensacola, and then that I brushed the wall at Kansas earlier in the year. So hopefully that means something to someone. I hope, at least.
Oh, definitely.
It definitely should. Well, and you talk about that experience thing, and that's what was really cool, is seeing when you did go back to tracks for the second time. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, okay, he's caught on to this track, knows what he needs, and the results showed it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yep, and I think a lot of it too was, even the team was at like some sort of I wouldn't say like a disadvantage, but sort of a disadvantage. You go to a racetrack and you're a little bit off. It's not like you have any practice to dial stuff in. We get in, unload at a place like Kentucky or Kansas the first time, and we're on the splitter, or we're dragging or tire rub or whatever. You can't really work that out before race time. So you got to make wholesale changes on the thing just before you can get it to where you need it to be to start making adjustments on it. So it's like, man, it was good to unload at Kansas, be good right out of the trailer, in the 6 laps that we got, and be good enough to run with those guys. It just, and it's a lot different too when you're more comfortable in a car. It's not exactly an easy thing to just hop in a car and get comfortable, especially at those speeds and with something that feels so different. The air changes everything. So, with my no experience practically, it was tough to kind of get that understanding, but as soon as I got it, I think it helped a lot for me race wise at least.
Yeah, definitely so, and definitely hear that. And well, we're proud of you here, and proud of the season that you had and how far you came in the ARCA series there. But moving on from that down to this last race you've run, we got to talk to you before the Snowball Derby there, and that seemed like an exciting, to say the least, week.
Oh yeah, yep. It was that was probably the best car I've ever had at the Derby, by far. And I think we had a top 5 car. I mean, that whole week was like so up and down with not making it in through qualifying, and then having such a good race car in the last chance race, and then having a really good race car in the feature too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, after qualifying night, you're like, man, I got to run that race tomorrow. Are you kidding me? So it was a little bit of a sleepless night, I guess is the best way to put it. But it was good. It was turned into more like a 50-lap practice for me than anything. I kind of got a good feel on what the car was going to do, and I think we kind of started off on the right foot there, and it showed. We had a really good race car, and just kind of got hung out to dry. Those outside restarts, I just couldn't go, anywhere on the outside. I'd lose so much positions, and then I'd start to gain them all back on those long runs, and by the time I ended up in a good spot, it was, the whole tire game change. Everyone has that short run setup that they knew was going to work for them because they had 2 changes at the end of the race. It was just, just ended up being a little bit more of a gamble at the end there than we thought. And then obviously it tore up a little bit, didn't help. So, but it was a damn good race. I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, going back, I wanted to ask you, Derek, going back to the the qualifying draw, in your opinion, how much does that help to get? I mean, you don't really know, I guess, depending on the dew and all that. I know that's kind of important down there, but getting a early draw or late draw or whatever, because I mean, it kind of seemed like there was fast times throughout, but kind of towards the early middle, it kind of fell off. Seemed like. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, it was really weird. It's almost like the dew never rolled in this year. Usually, right away when the dew rolls in, because it all of a sudden, the guy qualifying 25th or 30th is 2/10 slower, and then they continue. A fast guy is kind of always going to be fast, but that middle of the run team or driver is always, I don't know. It just seemed like they didn't slow down like they normally do.
Right.
It's always been slow right off the bat, fast in the middle, slow at the end, and it kind of just progressively got better after me, which didn't really seem to make much sense. It's really never been that way, so it was a little bit confusing, to be honest, but it was interesting.
I bet it was, and but was it any consolation, I guess, in that happening, that you also knew people like Chase Elliott and Bubba Pollard and Noah Gragson all had bad qualifying also?
Yeah. I mean, I was in a race, I think, with the last chance race with 3 people that have won that race before.
Exactly.
So I'm like, man, that was even more like I'm like, I'm in good company, but at the same time, I'm in good company. That's not good to wiggle my way in, and it just it was funny. I got a picture up on Facebook and Instagram. I'm like a couple back of the pack jacks. It was me, Bubba Pollard, and Chase Elliott. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what are these guys doing back here? Like, what? How did that end up, being that way? So it was a very odd derby, and it stayed. Another thing too that I was pretty surprised about is the whole race stayed pretty clean. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of wrecks or big crazy, half the field wrecking sort of deal. It stayed clean.
Yeah, I thought that same thing, because the last few years it seems like all of a sudden there in the last 50 laps or so, all of a sudden just everybody apparently straps on their helmet too tight normally, but this year it seemed pretty calm there at the end, other than the little thing, and unfortunately one of the little things was one thing that you got caught up in, but other than that it seemed fairly calm.
Yeah. I mean, we had coming up through, we got together with a couple people. I mean, it's kind of hard not to, in such a, I mean, you're racing with everyone wants the same thing, obviously, and it's so hard to give up a position. So I understand everyone on defense, but man, it was like you kind of. I mean, I expected just a little bit more room or to be run a little bit better than I did most of the race. But I mean, I guess that's kind of the name of the game there when you're starting in the back, and you kind of got to make a hole if they're not going to give one to you. So that, and then the whole thing with the 53 there, it's like, man, it just both ways it could have been avoided. I probably could have backed out, and he shouldn't have stopped and parked it on the bottom. But it's like, man, it just the whole race could have been different if it just was that one spot was different. So yep. It's hard to look back and think of things you could do a little better, but it is what it is. It's racing, and that's kind of how it goes.
It definitely is. Well, did it seem like because I know y'all were kind of together in the Constellation there in the Last Chance race, but it seemed like you and Chase Elliott kind of carved your way up through the field in the main together. Were y'all intentionally doing that, or did that just kind of happen?
No, it just kind of happened. He had a really good car in the Consolation race, and I knew what I needed to, where my car needed to get to be, try to get on the same path as he is. And I even joked around about it at the start of the race there when they called me up on stage, and like, I gotta hook a chain up to Chase, and he's gonna drag me up through, because that's with how fast he was yesterday. That's what I'm gonna have to do. But it was cool, kind of like following up through, and even on right before one of those competition cautions, I was going to be hung out to dry again on the outside, and I got right to the back of Chase's back bumper and got up underneath him down the backstretch. And they threw the yellow before we could get to the start-finish line, so I couldn't get that bottom lane position. I'm like, man, are you kidding me? It was like a big bummer there, but it was cool to race with those guys, him and Kyle Busch and a lot of other real good talent out there. It was cool to kind of be door to door with those guys.
Yeah, definitely. Another person, like you say, talking about Bubba Pollard, he, it really surprised me. I mean, it's like I know he was driving somebody else's car or something.
Well, he's in a new ride now,
right? So it looked like they were just lost the whole weekend. It seemed like to me, but I know you probably talked with him. But I mean, did he say what was going on or what?
Yeah, he just couldn't get it there. They just didn't have speed. He's like, it didn't seem like we were real far off, but we were just off. It was just one of those days where no matter what you throw at the car, and the Hocevar was the same way too. So they were both Van Dorn cars, house cars, and it just seemed like they just didn't go. Like they just couldn't get them to do anything. And it's not like, I mean, whatever, Carson Hocevar ran all those Crown Jewel races this year and won half of them and did a good job. And I mean, it's Bubba Pollard, so it's not. And that's it. If it was like Bubba Pollard at Oxford Plains Speedway or something like that, you'd be like, maybe he just had a bad day and was just off. I mean, he's won like 30 races at Five Flags, so that
exactly
you wouldn't imagine it being him. But we all have those days for sure.
I bet you were so upset that Carson Hocevar had a bad day, because if I remember correctly, you still owe him one, don't you?
I do. I'm like, he's in the Last Chance race, and I'm like, I'd feel fulfilled him not making it, and he didn't even make it. I'm like, I feel bad thinking of it, but I'm like, is what it is. It was funny. I actually talked to one of his guys down there. He came up, he's like, did you mean to tear off the whole front of his nose at Jennerstown? I'm like, yeah, I did mean to tear off the whole front of his nose at Jennerstown. It's like, and then he started laughing, and I'm like, man, he wanted to give it to me, that nose. He wanted to use me up with that nose, so I guess I figured I'd take it if that was the case. but it was all good. One of those guys that you're probably gonna have to race him that way for a while until you get stuff neutral back out.
Yeah, there's some guys like that out there. Well, going into down, after finishing out the race, tell us what happened in that last incident there. I guess walk us through that.
So it was 253 cars. One of them was Cole Butcher, and the other one was Boris Yorkovich. And Cole just ran right into the back of Boris and got him all up out of shape off turn 4. And I ran up. I was running right up behind those guys, and Boris kind of got all up out of shape near the start-finish line and lost, like, I don't know what he was doing, but he lost like 10 or 15 miles an hour of speed. And just like and he was in the outside groove driving into the corner, and I committed to the bottom, and he just, like, I don't know how he even ended up over the nose, but he just parked it in front of me, and I buried, like I said, I was committed to the bottom, and I just buried the nose right into his, like, right in the middle of his left rear tire, because I don't know where he was going. I had a hard time judging. Like, I don't even think if I tried to do what he did, I couldn't do it. So I don't know how he did it. And I just got into him, and he just went around, and like I said, I was committed to the bottom, and that was, in my opinion, my lane, and he just drove right down over me, and I somehow saved it after. I don't know how, but we were towed out probably like an inch and 3/4 there. So, race cars junk after that, pretty much.
Yeah. Me and Sterling were texting back and forth pretty much the entire race, because he was over here at his house watching, I was at my house watching, and I saw that happen. I was like, oh, I thought from the replay, because they didn't really show what you did afterwards. They just kind of showed, you sideways all of a sudden. I'm like, dang, Derek's wrecked, because that's all I saw. And then all of a sudden I see they're getting ready for the restart, and I'm like, no, he's still right there. Like, I don't know how he saved that at all.
Man, they got an in-car camera from Kyle Busch in Kyle's. If it was anyone else, I probably would have been wrecked, because he came through the smoke, and it was like probably 2 feet, 3 feet from just finishing me off. And I don't know how he backed it down, but it was like the perfect view to see me come out of it. And I'm like, man, what a crazy. Someone sent me a picture of like a screenshot of one of Speed 51's in-car deals from, I think it's from Kyle or from Jeremy Doss or someone. Yeah. And you can read the whole, like, he's coming out of 2, and the whole entire car is just 90 degrees right in front of the nose. Like, you can read the whole entire side of the car from the nose all the way to the tail. The whole thing. I'm like, I came over the radio. I'm like, that was the best save I think I've ever made in my entire life, and I don't know how I did it. So,
well, that's one way to get all your sponsors on TV.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, man, that was pretty close.
Well, anyway, you ended up with a top 10 at the Snowball. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good. I know you felt like you probably could have ended up with a top 5 if that hadn't happened. I thought the same thing, because it looked like you were really coming those last few laps there. And but so how you feel with the top 10?
It's hard not to be happy with that. I mean, that's after last year we finished 12th, but it was more of like I lucked into a 12th place finish sort of deal. I think this year we showed that we were strong enough that we could race with those guys. It just, I really think if the caution stuff played out a little differently, I probably could have been a little bit better there. I mean, our car was just, phenomenal long run. I mean, it was such a good car long run. Especially if I didn't hurt it or didn't do anything off the beginning there, with the tires and everything. I mean, it was so good long run that I was hoping that we'd run out, a 70 or 60 lap run there at the end of the race. But, we had that 20 lap run or 15 lap run, whatever it ended up being. And I knew I was just starting in the outside lane again. I'm like, man, I just got to hold on, whatever I can do here just to hold on. And that's it. So it was good. And I'm super pumped that we came out, and we came out relatively unscathed. I know we knocked a toe out and bent some front suspension pieces, but I mean, the fender's fine, everything, it wasn't, the car's not really tore up or anything. So it was good. I'm pretty happy.
Wow. Cause I thought you had probably destroyed it going in that corner. Cause it looked like from the camera view, it looked like it just, the car went up in the air is what it looked like. It was just flying down through turn 1. I'm like, oh God.
It was airborne for a minute there.
I bet
for sure.
so. Oh, that's crazy. Well, cool deal, man. Well, we're glad and proud of you for that kind of effort and driving through the field like that, because that was pretty crazy ride there up through the field to make it up there. And I mean, it, like you said, it wasn't no luck in it this time. It was you driving up through the field.
Yeah, yep. And it was good to have a good car too. You know, we kind of gone there a couple times. In the first year, we had a rear end brake on us, and we were fighting that and didn't even realize it. And then, you know, last year we were good, but we weren't where we needed to be. You know, it kind of clicked on me late race on where I needed to be on the racetrack and where it needed to be, where the car needed to be better. And from there, I think that really is what helped us the most out this year. I ran that, you know, very specific line and up off turn 2 where we got all that drive down low, and that's just kind of where we worked on all weekend. And I think that's what hurt us in qualifying, is like I just really, really worried about where we were in the race trim stuff, and I just missed, you know, I just missed on qualifying.
Talking about the specific line there, it looks like that track is, and I know it's awesome because it hadn't been paved in forever. I don't even know how long it's been, but track looks really rough. Is the specific line just to dodge all the bumps, or that's just a quick line around there? What is that?
You know, it's the track is like really, really aggressive. Like the pavement is just like, I mean, you walk out, it's all seashells and tore up, you know, old gravel or something. I mean, like you like walk on it and you lose easy to hurt the tires there. And you just end up in like a 4-wheel slide so easy there. And for me, I always want to make the car work the best it possibly can without having to really do anything. You know, like you want the car to do all the work for you.
Right.
And I think the best way I could get that done is like there's just some weird line into turn 1 and out of turn 2 that just clicked on me. Like I said, last year's Derby, and it's like to enter a little bit low, and you know, you might scrub like a little center, or you might scrub like a little speed driving in and through the center, but like for everything that they gain on you at the beginning of a run, you're like 3 times better than them at the end of like a 30 lap run. And I don't know why that is, but like there's like some weird piece of cement or something right after the pit wall where it right where it ends. And if you just stay down there and you can get drive up off turn 2 on the bottom, I mean, it's like, you know, you're usually clear by turn 3. So that's where I made a lot of my passes, was up off turn 2. You know, I could kind of get it in there and let them try to pile it in and get into that 4-wheel slide, and then all of a sudden, boom, I was just better than them up off turn 2. And that's just what we worked on, you know, the whole weekend.
That's cool. I got a question about the line at that track too, and it seems like to us, watching it, just watching it, not driving it, obviously, but it seems like that track has a somewhat of a odd racing line to it. It seems like you just talked about, exiting low off the corners there, and that's what, especially off 4, it looks like some people are about to hit the inside wall out of 4 almost. They get so low. Is that odd to you, or is that just a unique track, or what?
Yeah, you know, I don't think that the track has a very normal line. I think it takes you a couple times to go there and figure out where you need to be, because where you think you need to be and where you actually need to be are not even close. And it's funny that you say that out of turn 4, the pit wall there. I scrubbed the pit wall with my left front fender.
Wow.
And we left some scrapes on that left front fender because of how, like, you want to run as to the start finish line as straight as possible. And the only way to do that is to like arc, like make turn 4, like you drive into turn 3 and get it all turned like while you're still in turn 3. Yeah. And then you just got to be straight as you possibly can. And it's almost like that wall's in the way. It's such an odd thing. And then same thing with turn 1. I mean, you drive off in there and the driver's side door is 2 inches from the inside pit wall. Yeah. So it's like, it's just, it's just a very odd, like you don't run like that anywhere else in any sort of car. So it's just a very, very odd deal for sure.
I'm glad I wasn't just going crazy. I'm glad somebody verified my observation.
Yeah. Well, Dale, like you say, top 10 had a lot better card than that for sure. Like you said, top 5 probably this year coming. You never know what that'll bring, but top 10 with the best of the best super late model drivers out there, period. And even some cup drivers that want to come down and run with you guys, outrunning some of them and all. That is awesome. I don't know, man. That's huge for you to be able to come up or come down from the Northeast and run with these guys from all over California, wherever. That's pretty freaking cool for sure. So there's a pile of dudes there that didn't make it and had to go home. So top 10 is definitely something to be happy about for sure.
Yeah, we're psyched. I mean, like you said, I think it was probably one of the best super late model fields. I think it is the best super late model field I've ever seen for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Well, how about your buddy Ty Majeski bringing home a W there finally?
Oh, finally! I know the poor kid probably should have had 4 of them by now. The luck was in his hands this year, and it was crazy because he didn't have that dominant car like he normally. I mean, he had a really good race car, right. But he usually goes out there and is like, he's the one that's lapping all the way up to like 8th place, and he kind of was in a different position this year. I mean, Derek Thorne was so good, and he just was there at the right time and took advantage of everything he could there late race and just did a good job. It was really impressive. Like I get to watch it back and see what he did, and it was like, that's an exciting race right there.
It was. It was very exciting to watch this year. Probably one of the most exciting, because we're fortunately not the ones that watch wanting to see a bunch of wrecks. So watching this race and seeing a whole lot of side-by-side racing action and clean racing for the most part out there was really exciting, other than the snowflake. That was interesting, but
Yep.
So that was cool. Well, cool, man. Well, awesome. Well, speaking of the snowball, we're going to have to I'll send you the stuff. I think I sent you the invite on iRacing. We got the Chicken Bone Alley Winter Nationals we're doing on iRacing for some guys out there, and we're going to have to get you on there. Our last race of the year actually is the Supers at Five Flags.
Yep.
150 laps. So we might have to get you on there and run with us.
Oh boy, get ready for chaos and anarchy, because I'm going to be upside down lap 10 or something like that, and I'm going to take half the field with me. Not on purpose. I promise you, it's not going to be on purpose.
That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, well, cool, good, man. Well, what's what far as your super stuff or your late model stuff? What you got any plans for next year yet?
Yeah, yep. We're gonna run speed weeks again, kind of like we always do, and from there we got a pretty cool schedule we can pick out with our super program back home. So there's Stafford Motor Speedway, which hasn't had a pro stock race at it, and I don't even know, probably since like 2003. And Granite State Pro Stock Series is going to open up there, and then also pro stocks are back, or late models, whatever they call them, pro stocks up here. I don't really understand why, but they're super late models pretty much. They're back to Thompson twice next year too, and that's one of my favorite racetracks to race at. Hometown Hudson Speedway is going to be both Pass and Granite State. They both got races. Monadnock is back on a Pass schedule, which is pretty unreal. That's like one of the racetracks that owes us one.
There you
go. It's just, I don't know what it is about that racetrack. It's just always strips me of getting that win. So, possibly bounce around there. Claremont has that 10,000 to win race again. We will have the 250. We got a lot of racing back home that we can do that is that we're pretty pumped up about. So we'll see how that plays out with scheduling and everything.
Cool deal, man. Well, that is awesome. And in 2021, we can't wait to be watching Derek Griffith in Victory Lane somewhere. Y'all can get out there and go watch him somewhere. He's going to be somewhere racing.
He'd be everywhere. Yeah.
We don't mind a little bit of traveling. Oh, Hickory too. I forgot about Hickory. We got a double header at Hickory too.
Oh yeah,
that ain't far from us. We can get up there and check you out.
We're gonna have to go there.
250 lappers. One on Saturday, one Sunday, or one Friday, one Saturday, something like that. But it's the Easter Bunny makeup, and then also the Easter Bunny for 2021 as well. So a little crazy to have 250 double header. 250 races as a double header in the same weekend. But hey, I mean, we're up for craziness. That's what we all got. We're all a little messed up in the head, so it sounds about right.
Hey, if you're gonna travel, might as well race as much as you can.
Yeah, right. Especially, I love Hickory too.
Yeah, it's a cool track. Real cool track. Well, cool.
Derek, speaking of speed weeks, do you know the dates and all that yet? Or are you sure?
I'm not 100% sure. Usually, it's like the first. It's either late January or early February. We always end up either racing. My birthday's on the 9th, February 9th, and that's usually either the first night or right around that, practice day. Excuse me, the practice day, or it's right around when speed weeks begin. So I'd imagine, first 2 weeks of February is when stuff's going to get rolling.
Good deal. Sounds good, man. Well, hopefully we can get down there and check you out some too. I hope.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to see you guys down there.
We might try to, squeeze our way away from here and
well, David's going to be off work for 6 months, so I'm sure he can go. I don't know about me. But.
Well, being off work is fine because I got time to go. It's the pay thing that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're all getting our $600 stimulus checks soon.
There we go. There we go. That's covered us for the last year. We're good to go.
Cover everything. That's right.
We're good.
We're good. Oh, well, awesome, man. Well, it has been great to have you back on here again, hanging out with us, and I cannot wait to do it some more here in 2021.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure, boys. I love to be on. Cool thing to be a part of for sure, and hopefully we'll be talking after some racing next year, and maybe some exciting news soon here. So we'll play it by ear, and hopefully we can link up soon.
Well, I hope that news comes out and we can get it on here quickly. I'm excited too. Oh, cool deal, buddy. Well, thank you again, and we will be talking with you soon.
Yeah, have a happy New Year, Derek.
Happy New Year, boys. My pleasure.
That was cool. I want to thank Derek again for coming on, hanging out with us, not just this time, but all year long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Many episodes. Y'all have heard him on this year. And y'all go check him out. Derek Griffith Motorsports on Facebook and all that stuff. And go tell him you want to buy some T-shirts, something like that. Help him out as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely help him out. He's definitely trying to continue his career and move up to different things, and so we want to try to help him all we can down here. So anybody listening, please go do whatever you can to contribute to that sum for sure.
Yep, that's it. Well, we had another race this week. Street stocks at Myrtle Beach Speedway in the Chicken Bone Alley Winter Nationals, and it was a interesting race.
Well,
it really was a good race. It was really good race.
It was a good race, and we had a good field come back last week. For whatever reason, you didn't have a whole lot of people traveling, or whatever. I'm sure going to look at Christmas lights or who knows what, but we did have a good crowd come back, and it put on for some good racing. Everybody really, for the most part, drove very good, and you could run side by side with guys a good bit and run clean. So it was fun.
So, how was your heat race? Because I didn't see it.
Well, the only daggum
My
race.
It wasn't my fault. I promise.
It's totally, it's 100% your fault.
I promise it was not my fault.
The only race I probably this whole series that I'm going to win was heat number 2 from last night, Sunday night, at Myrtle Beach. So qualified second. I think me and Zach were pretty much same lap time. I think we turned within a thousandth of a second one another, something like that. It was close. So I qualified second behind Josh Dietz, and Zach Stroop qualified third. So they went to their own heat, which I kind of figured was going to be a interesting heat, and it was, because they've been battling pretty good throughout this whole series so far with one another. They're both really fast. They're both really good on iRacing for sure. So kind of figured it was going to be between them two in the main. Anyway, so fired off pretty good. Old Beef Tips, me and him run pretty good there in our heat, back and forth a little bit. Towards the end of well, like I said before on the interview last night, but I couldn't fire off good. I did not fire off good whatsoever. It was just like I was on ice, completely on ice. And a couple other people said that too. But and you couldn't slide tires. If you slid the tires any at all, it would kill. They would start pushing like crazy. So you really had to buy your time and get heating the tires the first 3, 4, 5 laps before you could really take off and roll. So I did that. Beef Tips obviously could fire off a little better than I did. So he passed me there, but got around him and ended up winning that race. So that was cool. And was going to start second until the invert. So I ended up starting fourth, I believe, in the main. So, but it was good. Finally got me a win.
Well, congratulations.
I appreciate it, even though you didn't record it.
It wasn't my fault. It was technical difficulties.
Yeah,
iRacing technical difficulties.
It happens. Mine screws up all the time. So it's all good. But at least we got it back. Got the feed going back or whatever for the main. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But it was I love those cars. I love street stocks there at Myrtle Beach. There's a lot of fun.
I like them anywhere. I like street stocks in not just asphalt. I like the dirt and asphalt. I mean, to me, those are always put on some of the best racing. Today actually I was home. I ran a street stock dirt race at Fairbury Falls, and we were 4 wide for the lead for about 3 laps in the heat race.
That's fun.
And that was a lot of fun. Nobody touched each other. I mean, not at all.
Wow.
It was just it was 4 wide racing. I mean, it was the track had good line all the way across it, and everybody had fun with it. I mean, so it was those cars always put on some good racing. So they did again at Myrtle Beach, and it was really cool because you really could run. I mean, you didn't want to get on the outside. You wanted typically to be on the inside at earlier parts of the race. Anyway.
Yeah.
And but you could, if you were on the outside, you could hang there for a few laps, and if you pinched them off right coming out the corner, you could maintain the spot.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, towards the end of the race last night, I got there with, I think it was Cole. Yeah, me and Cole, man, we got there and running side by side for a while. He was running the bottom, he was running his line, and I had to do what I had to do. I was faster than him at that point in the race, but he was just running his line, and I could not cleanly get up under him to pass him. So I knew I had to go to the top, and this was probably with about 15 to go. I told David the top actually come in and was fast. The top was fast. I went around and passed him on the outside. So, like I say, you could run 2 wide and run clean, and it was a lot of fun doing it. And another thing, like you say, I think these street stocks are a lot of fun because you can run. They're running slower speeds, and you can beat and bang somewhat and not get turned around,
right?
And have fun doing it. So, you can't hardly do that in Legends car for sure, and especially in these 360 sprints we got coming up next week.
Well, this weekend, the following week, we got 2 open wheel cars. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's gonna be cool. Well, speaking of the race, we got the winner here, Josh Dietz. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, on the phone now, we got the winner of race number 4 in the Chicken Bone Alley Winter Nationals. Man, it says he's not really an asphalt racer, but he's won both asphalt races we have. Josh Dietz. Josh, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much. Just heading home from work.
Fun stuff. So when did you become an asphalt racer? That's what I want to know.
Well, I started out racing go-karts, but I raced asphalt legends before I ran the dirt stuff. But that's been 5 years ago or so now. So I got a little asphalt experience, but I always tell people running a legend car on asphalt's more like running. Nowadays they got big old Hoosier tires and stuff, but back when we were on the old Federals and stuff, running an asphalt legend car is more like running a dirt car than some things are on dirt. So,
I hear you there. Well, cool. Well, let's go back into the race last night. You were fast out there in practice, set fast time in practice, set it on pole even. What'd you think about all the heat races and practice and all that stuff? How'd you feel about it then?
Yeah, practice is good. I had to get used to the track. I never really raced at Myrtle Beach, so I just had to buy it before the race, and took me a few laps to get used to it. And then once I figured out the track, I felt pretty comfortable. Seemed like I made mistakes. Still, like even in the race, in that heat race, I kind of overdrove the corner a couple times. That track's real big on making sure you get in your braking zone and get the car loaded up with the long straightaways, and it's kind of a little bit freer. Seems like there's not that much grip, so it's all about getting in the braking zone right. And a couple times I missed my mark in that heat race, and Zach got under me and passed me, and we had a pretty good race. But it seemed like once I calmed down a little bit and got in the rhythm, I was able to drive away from him. So
that's pretty much that's Josh. That's kind of how I felt. Really, I don't know about you, but just firing off, the car was like it's on ice pretty much. And after 5, 6, 7 laps, the car really felt good to me. Being a fixed iRacing setup, it wasn't too bad really. It actually felt pretty good.
Yeah. At first, like you said, it was always faster when the tires were cold, but the car was almost undrivable. I don't want to say undrivable, but it was real free. You had to make sure you didn't want to scoot the tires, because if you let the back end come around on entry, then the car was going to come around, or you're going to wash up and just be slow. But once you got a couple laps under it, it seemed like it would tighten up and you're able to drive it. And then it got tighter as the run goes on. I don't know if that was the way I was driving it or if it was for everybody, but I know it seemed like every lap I ran, the car got a little bit tighter, which it helped me until you got past like lap 40 on the tires, and then it seemed like I was just pushing the nose off of it. But I felt like it's a pretty good setup for being iRacing. That street stocks on there never feel that good. You got to think you're driving I don't know how much they weigh, but a 3,000 plus pound car on, I think they're running radial tires. So not like they're ever going to handle great.
That's right. Well, cool. All right. Well, going into the race there, you took off from the pole, and then first, the first handful of laps there got pretty interesting. Tell us your side of it.
In the heat race?
No, talking about going into the main. Going into the main.
I'm sorry?
Going into the main there.
Oh, well, I started in fifth. It was a 5-car invert.
So yeah, that's right. That's right.
Main.
I'm sorry.
He was pretty much in the lead.
I was fixing to say, you were up there so fast, I just felt like you started on the pole because like 2 laps. It's like, bam, there's Josh.
I was lucky. We started on the inside lane, starting in fifth, and the inside lane got a jump, and I just kind of followed them through. I came out third, so that made it a little bit easier. And I think I passed for second down the back stretch, and was behind Zach there, and I was faster than him, and I was giving him a lot of pressure. And I was being a little bit aggressive, and I didn't want to move him. I kept getting under him, and it seemed like he just kept pinching me down. So, a couple of times you don't want to hit them rumble strips or whatever they are. They'll tear your car up in a heartbeat. But I just finally got under him where I felt comfortable, and he came down a little bit, and we got together, and I junked both of us.
Me too.
I don't think he was able to drive it. I drove mine afterwards, and it wasn't that good, but it was drivable. I think it junked his completely.
Sterling's too.
Yeah, I was in that same junk pile there.
I think it junked a few other people too. I don't think many made it through there.
Yeah, no, that was definitely the big one. Yeah, that was the big one in turn 3 at Myrtle Beach for sure. But you definitely recovered from that and got back up there quickly.
We never left. He was our halfway leader. Collected that bonus point for the halfway. I know you hadn't run all the races, but being that you missed a race, but being that you hadn't, you're still collecting some bonus points and stuff and moving on up through there.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no drops or anything in points, is there? Probably.
No, unfortunately, in a short series.
Ashley wanted to go see Light, so we went and saw Light.
Hey, you got to do that every now and then. But you keep going like you're going, and there's 4 races left. You liable to be right up here in the mix with the point leaders there for sure.
Yeah, it's all about being consistent. That first race I went out and didn't finish that race, and then we won the last 2 I run. But you can't win points championships by winning and then junking it. You got a solid top 5. So
exactly.
I think I'll run the rest of them and just try to keep my nose out of stuff, see what happens.
Cool deal. Well, you went on after halfway, and y'all made a good race of it up front up there. Tell us about how you felt about it from halfway on. I know we had a messed up halfway break because it all of a sudden got extended for some reason. iRacing caution decided to go full. But after that, it was good.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember halfway we had about 5 caution laps there, 6 caution laps extra, it seemed like. But, I just kind of limped after we wrecked there. I was restarted 4th, and I was probably 15 laps until halfway, and I just wanted to limp it. I got to Cole in 2nd. I think I passed him on the top and then just tried to limp it around until we got to the halfway mark. Went in, got the car fixed, got tires, and started up front and just I tried to, like I was talking before, it seemed like the car got real tight, and I don't know if it was because it was wrecked or if it was or what, but I wanted to drive the car a little different, see if I could keep the tires on a little better. So I got a little bit of a lead on Zach, and then I started trying to back up my corner entries, and I actually kind of screwed me up. I made a mistake. I think I turned down the track a little bit too much, hit the rumble strips, and got loose, and he caught up to me, and then from then on I had to drive it. There was no driving it easy anymore. We had to drive it for everything it had, and just try to keep them behind me.
Cool deal, man. Well, congratulations on another win on the asphalt. Moving on to some more dirt next week. Williams Grove in the 360 sprints. What you think about it?
Oh, I don't know. I always say I don't do good with wings, but we ran some series last year that had some sprint car races, and I won it. But I don't know. I don't know what to do when they put a wing on top of me. So we'll have to see. I think. I don't know. Williams Grove is a tough track too, especially if it slicks off. But I think it'll be a good race.
There was quite a few saying that they asked us, did we just throw darts at a board to find out what cars and tracks are running? Because everybody's like, that's going to be the hardest race on the schedule. Fortunately, it's a short race, 35 laps.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we run? Where do we run after that? What are we going to after the sprint cars?
I think it's modifieds at Nashville.
Modifieds at Nashville. Yep.
The Wheeling modifieds, whatever.
Are they the SKs or the tours?
I think it's tours.
Yeah.
That'll be a good race.
Oh yeah.
I like the modifieds. But yeah, we'll just have to get through the sprint car race. That's going to be trying to keep it on its tires instead of slid, and if we can do that, we'll be all right. Just try to be there at the end. I don't think there'll probably be quite a few people not finishing that race. So I think the trick there is just going to be just keep the car in one piece and then hash it out the last 20, 30 laps.
Yeah, I hear you there. Well, cool deal, man. Well, congratulations again, and we appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us for a few minutes tonight, and we might be talking to you next week. You never know.
We'll find out. Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
Later, man.
All right, there was his version of it. It was quite the exciting battle between him and Zach Stroop there, And,
oh yeah,
it was fun to watch.
yeah, it was. And and like I said, those two guys pretty much are, and Cole as well. Cole's a really clean driver, very, very clean. And I'm not saying that Zach and Josh aren't, but it just seems like their driving styles clash so bad because when they get, they can run through the whole field and not touch a single car at all. Because I ran side by side with Zach for a while and had no problem. But when they get side by side one another or behind one another, they got to touch each other. They can't help it. They got to do it. So it's a little rivalry going on with them. So hopefully they can continue that as a good rivalry, I guess, throughout the rest of the series. And they're not going to be doing much beating and banging this week at Williams Grove. It ain't going to work. Are they going to take each other out for sure? But yeah, it was a good race. And if I honestly think if they could have gave themselves enough time to go out there and run side by side a little bit, give each other a little bit of room, I think it would have made for an awesome finish because I think they were pretty even, really.
Yeah, they really were, especially those last few laps. And even after they got together, Zach got sideways. He collected it back up, but he was, I don't know, a second and a half behind Josh at that point, maybe even more. I'm not sure. But I was looking at the times, and he maintained that time behind him for the remainder of the race. So it would have been a really close finish. I really, really do believe.
Yeah.
So, but that's racing for the win. That's kind of what you expect a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right there at the beginning of the race, I think they were going for the same inch on the racetrack. A little too early, in my opinion. I think I was on lap 3, maybe. I don't know. 2.
I don't know.
But I got caught up in that, tore my stuff. I got a 16X.
I don't think you got 16 in one spot. I don't think.
Okay, well maybe I ended up with 22 or 20.
No, you ended up with 16.
Okay, they might have been 12 or something. Yeah, I don't remember. Regardless,
everybody just kept hitting you. And it gave you a 4X every time they hit you.
Oh my God! But I was like, they won't stop hitting me. It just kept on coming. I think the whole field hit me. I'm pretty sure, but anyway, it was all good. We went in and fixed it and come from the back there and made a pretty decent day. Finishing third. It's not too bad for me anyway, because a lot of these guys are really good on iRacing, and
it was an impressive drive back up through the field. Honestly,
well,
you look good.
It's really tough. Because I get on there, honestly, David knows, I get on iRacing and I practice for maybe about an hour on Sunday, and then I go into the.
Well, you practice more. You practice more this past Sunday than you probably did for any of them. So
yeah, I think I ran 200 laps before,
and it showed.
So yeah, it did. So maybe I'll try to do a little bit more of that this coming Sunday and get ready for them. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. I'm still hanging in there in points. I don't know what.
You're right there. You're right there. Where you're
third
now.
Yeah, I think I'm 9 points back right now. So
Cole DeMint is still in the lead, but Zach Stroop is 1 point behind him.
1 point. So it's going to be tight there. So maybe they'll get it together and take each other out, and I can win this thing.
I don't think you'll see that happen.
Probably not.
Not with them two. No, I don't think you'll see that happen. So that's cool. I'm glad it's shaping up to be a tight battle in this series. That's what we wanted. That's honestly, when we sat down and figured out what tracks and cars we wanted to run for this series, that was kind of what we had in mind. We didn't want anybody to have a just clear advantage, running this type track, this type car, because we all know everybody is, especially on iRacing, because everybody can go jump in every type car, and somebody in a field always tends to be a little bit better in this certain type car than somebody else. That's just how it's going to be everywhere you go, every race, even in real racing. So that's why we wanted to change up cars, change up tracks, go back asphalt, and the only thing we didn't put in this year's road course, but that could change in the future.
Yeah, we may do that.
We want to keep it, even though it's crazy, we want to keep it a little bit simple this time.
Yeah, well, we were kind of leaning towards just short track stuff.
Yeah.
This year or this winter anyway. So we may try to do another one. I think everybody's enjoying it. That's doing it for the most part. So that's cool.
I think I'm finally getting this broadcasting stuff down.
Yeah,
a
you're
little
doing
bit.
good. You got it looking good, man. You do. Really do. When it
I'm
works.
learning a lot.
Yeah. But no, that's cool. So we'll see. Who knows? We'll switch it up. Maybe for the summer we might try to do one or something. But anyway, like we say, Williams Grove this week coming. It's going to be an interesting race. I think it's only 35 laps. Couldn't run any more than that because of fuel.
Right.
We went on there and tried to see how long we could go, and I think it was like actually right at 40 laps was the max. So it's gonna be 35 laps. I know Dave is gonna have the track to where it resets to a wetter state for the main.
Yeah, we probably will, because if not, that thing will get dry, slick, fast.
It gets horrible, and it's one groove dead on the wall, pretty much. I mean, you can run the bottom.
You can get in 1 and 2, and there's some lines in 1 and 2. Now coming out of 4, you better be on the wall.
On the wall. So it'll be interesting to see. I think kind of like Josh said earlier, it's going to be kind of this race yourself and take care of your stuff and see if you can be there at the end, because man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. There's going to be some dirty slide jobs, I'm pretty sure, coming up in this race.
Yeah, I hope not, but yeah, it is quite possible. And that is, I will, I guess I look at it a little more leniently on iRacing, because slide jobs are honestly, especially in the sprint cars, are hard to judge.
Oh yeah, definitely are.
They really are. I mean, you really
especially there, because there's nothing to hold you in. When you go in Williams Grove,
here I go.
You just slide straight to the wall. There's nothing to hold you there at all. So
it's flat.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. It will be. Hopefully we can keep it together.
I think that's going to be awesome. Well, as always, we want to thank our partners coming on for this series here. We want to thank Palmetto Machine and Fabrication helping us out. SRI Performance, as always, not just on the series, but also on the show here. Thank them and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum and Draco Springs, and for everything they do for us, and appreciate them coming on with us this year. Also Forward Bite Apparel, y'all go get you some cool stuff. I just brought over some koozies and stuff over here.
Yeah, sweet koozies, really nice koozies.
They're cool.
I like neoprene koozies. They're sweet. I like them.
And I mean, it's like the whole bottom is enclosed. They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah,
I like them a lot. Also, Checkered Racing social media. It's changed the game with social media and racers. It's one of the biggest, fastest growing, biggest growing racing apps in the world right now. So,
yep, definitely.
Y'all go get on Checkered. You don't want to miss out.
Yeah, definitely check them out. But yeah, like you said, appreciate everybody coming on there with us and helping us out, getting this thing going, and hopefully we can continue. Have a couple, three of them a year or something. I don't know, but it's pretty fun.
It is a lot of fun. And, we'll have to see what we can work out for some more of it. We're only halfway through this season though. And Mart has 4 races down and 4 to go.
Yep, we got Williams Grove with the 360 sprints, Nashville Fairgrounds with the Tour Modifieds.
Yep.
The Pro Late Models at Charlotte, I believe.
Right, Dirt Pro Late Models.
Yep, 100 laps, and then the Snowball. It's 150 laps, so I guess it'll be like.
Come up with a cool name for it.
It'll also be like the Snowflake. We might just bump it up 300 laps, just do the whole thing. Why not?
We'll name it just a ice ball, because that's what we get here. Ice.
Yeah, we get ice.
Cold.
Yeah.
Ice. I don't know.
Exactly. It's cool. It's fun. We'll see what happens.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch and talk to these guys, and it's funny because if anybody out there listening is not on iRacing, you don't do any sim racing yourself, a lot of these people think, oh, it's a game. It's a game. Well, to an extent maybe, but it's way more. You get immersed in iRacing, and you feel like you are. I mean, you're doing everything you would do driving a car, a real race car, for the most part. So you really get immersed in it, and and what is so great about it to an extent, and sometimes can be rough, the feelings that come out of it are completely real.
Yeah, oh yeah. Especially the verbal feelings. There's a lot of that, for a few of these guys. So they definitely get worked up in it. And I mean, I do too. We all do. You spend the time to come up there and practice and do right, and especially when you try to run clean and run people clean, and it happens. I've done it. I'll do it again. People have done it. Lord knows you get into people and you don't mean to necessarily. You don't go out there and try to tear everybody's stuff up. And but I'll tell you what, man, you get hot, you get aggravated, you want to get back to the bumpers and turn them and this, that, and the other. But it's that's the realistic part of it for sure.
Oh, it definitely is, and that's the fun part to watch for the viewers, I guess. Sometimes to see the emotions come out. The thing that a lot of people have said has honestly turned them off to NASCAR is what turns them on to racing like this, because you get the emotion out of all this, and what's so cool about iRacing is you wreck your car, you hit reset.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It costs a lot less, I promise.
A whole lot.
Even though it can get pricey getting into it, it costs a whole lot less in the long run.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, what else we got this week?
That's about Coltrane. They are headed to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
They're there.
They are there. Okay, sweet.
They are already there.
So, not really sure the whole track schedule. I'm not really sure of everything when everything starts.
Stuff tomorrow. Well,
okay.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, everybody been looking for that. If you haven't yet, go download, go get the app. The Flow Sports app.
Yeah.
And definitely check it out. It's not that expensive at all. I think I paid $120 for a year or something like that.
$10 a month.
It's so cheap when you see what all you get. A whole lot of live stuff, especially not this time of year. No, of course there's a lot of replays, but during the heat of racing months, there is live racing on there every night of the week.
Yeah.
From all over. There's dirt racing, asphalt racing, you name it, they got it on there. But they're going to have full coverage, everything covered on Flow Racing TV, from the Chili Bowl, the Tulsa Shootout, all of that. The only thing that's going to be covered on MAV TV, I think, is the
CB and then the mains.
Okay.
And and that is in the Chili Bowl.
Right. So
Tulsa Shootout, the entire thing is going to be covered on Flow Racing.
On Flow Racing. So
yes.
So it's really cool. You get to see a lot of stuff on there. A lot of racing.
Always racing, and when there's no racing to watch, you can pick and choose from a lot of old cool races. Like I here in the last month, I think I've watched every Gateway Nationals there has been so far, and there's been some fun races to watch too.
Oh yeah,
so,
definally go back and see our buddy old Tyler Carpenter.
We're not, we're not sponsored by Flow Racing at all, or Flow Sports or nothing, but we're just really wanting to tell y'all it's a cool racing sports service.
It's not only racing.
I
mean, naturally we buy racing, but I mean they got baseball, football.
I saw volleyball on
there. There's so many different horse racing. There's all kind of stuff on there, so it's pretty cool. For the money, you can't beat it. So go check it out. Definitely get it for this coming up couple weeks here. If anyway, get it for a month.
Hey, if nothing else, try it out, because I got a feeling you'll probably just let that one keep going month to month after you see what all's on there.
Yep.
So cool. Well, starting next week, it'll be 2021. This year is turning 21. They're gonna start drinking. Oh god, that's scary.
Very scary.
Making poor decisions.
I hope it don't get worse.
But anyway, well, one of the poor decisions probably, we're going to step up our podcasting, I guess you'll say. And we're going to be on Facebook Live every week when we record this. So y'all will see it, rough, unedited version of the show on Facebook that you can watch there. And you will see that possibly some of these interviews and us talking isn't quite in the order that it comes across on the podcast.
Nope, but you're going to get it. You're going to get it all just like that. So, and then naturally David will edit it all up, and it'll be on all your whatever sources,
Platforms.
Spotify, whatever platforms you want it on. You listen to it the next day. But so it'll be cool. We'll see how it goes. I hope, one of the biggest things we wanted to do was to hopefully, have like a fan question segment somewhat, and that'll be a good time for that. People can listen up, and if they have any questions, they can just type it in right there. We can read them off of the Facebook Live and talk about them or whatever. So that'd be pretty cool. Hopefully that'll work out, and it'll be all on the show.
That's right. It's gonna be fun. Gonna be different for us. Sterling can't pick his nose.
Can't pick my nose anymore. I told David I got to start wearing sponsored shirts now. I can't just wear. I got to start dressing up for this.
You can't be wearing Gamecock hoodies.
No, I can't wear Gamecock hoodies. Yeah, I got to wait till next year.
I doubt next year.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll wear some Coastal hoodies and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though they lost their first game of the year.
Yeah.
But it was
That's
close.
right,
It was close.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool deal. Well, we thank y'all so much for joining us here in 2020. Can't wait for 2021, and we'll come back and keep on keeping on, and hopefully we'll be do things bigger and better than we have in 2020.
I hope so, man. It's been a crazy year for a lot of things for everybody. I hope everybody, can come out on top after this crazy year. I hope everybody has a job and can continue to work and make it on through into the next year for sure. But as far as the podcast goes, started it in February. I think last week of January, first week of February, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're coming on close to a whole year's worth of episodes. So it's been a lot of learning for us because definitely nothing we've ever done before. David's he's real smart with the whole computer thing here and can figure out how to do all this. And because if it was up to me to do this, we would have never done it because I don't know what I'm doing with it. So kudos to him for that. He has done good with it for sure. All the editing, all that stuff, it takes a lot of time. So he's done a lot with that. I have not done anything at all to help him with that.
You sit here on the couch and
fall asleep half the time.
Watch me.
Yeah, because that's a lot to it for sure. So he does good with that for sure. So that's awesome.
Bring me a plate of food every now and then.
Yeah, I try to hook out for you. Thank you to everybody that has come on the show this year. Like I said, Derek, he has come on a lot. Anytime we've asked him, he's come on to do whatever he could to help us. So we really appreciate that. And again, if you can, go buy you a T-shirt, go get you whatever you can to help him out to get his career continuing up the ladder, I guess. But everybody else, we've had a lot of people call in the show this year, a lot of drivers. A lot of people that's helped us.
Way more than we originally thought we would have.
Oh,
this year.
by far, yeah. We really had no idea. We thought we were just going to look up and go to some races and get some interviews here and there, and that was going to be it. We were going to plug them in and go, but it has done a lot better. A lot of it, we want to thank Randy King for that. He has helped us tremendously getting into some of these guys' trailers and stuff at these tracks and building a relationship with them where they will call in. So, Randy, we do appreciate it very much for sure, bud, and we're going to keep on the relationship for next year for sure.
Definitely so. Also, as always, SRI Performance, they've helped us out a lot in the same way, even offering their conference room there for us to go do a show at their facility, which was really cool. And
yeah, absolutely.
Getting some SRI team members, I guess you will say, on the show. That was a lot of fun. Some SRI drivers, they've called in, and we've talked to some at the tracks and everything else. So it's been a really good relationship with them. Hope to continue that for well on into the future. Everybody, thank you all so much for making us have a productive 2020.
Yep.
Also, as always, like we said, Forward Bite, thank them. We kind of come together, and it was really funny because we came to get. They kind of started up. Checkered started up, and we kind of started up at very similar times.
Right.
And that is actually how me and Mark met, was on Checkered. And we got to talking on there, and we formed a relationship with them. Also, Chris Muller over there at Checkered, we formed a relationship with him, and so it's been fun and really cool. And it like I said earlier in the year, and I still say it, that the racing family is just one big dysfunctional family. So it's really cool. A bunch of nice people.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely is. So we do appreciate it, everybody, for sure. I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe. And
also, I want to thank RMAX Solutions for coming on here later in the year. Here, we're gonna be doing some stuff with them here soon.
Definitely, we're gonna get some more information from RMAX Solutions for sure, and get it out to all these guys, because everybody needs some fab machines. They gotta have fab work.
Gotta have it serviced. Gotta have all the machines serviced. So
that's right.
Check them out. But we will be getting a whole lot of information here real soon. We're gonna be doing something cool with that. So cool deal. Well, we thank y'all for joining us, like I said, again for 2020, and can't wait to 2021.
Later.